Channel 1, Channel 2. Channel 1, Channel 2.
A robber is on the loose and could be armed here in Lincoln, and a possible terrorist attack in New York has left 6 dead.
We have our first snowfall and the NFL's trade deadline is over. The news starts now with Star City live at 5. And welcome to Star City News. I'm Karina Hernandez.
And I'm Lee Marion. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to start this evening off with some breaking news out of New York. The details aren't complete, but here's what we know so far. A vehicle ran into a crowd of people in Manhattan.
The New York Police Department is reporting 8 people dead and 15 injured now. This is from just moments ago. This attack is being called an act of terrorism by the FBI. There has been 1 suspect arrested.
The vehicle is believed to be a Home Depot rental truck and have struck people along a city bike path. CNN is reporting a bus was also hit by the truck. The man that then exited the vehicle with imitation firearms and was shot by police.
The New York governor is saying this is expected to be a lone wolf attack. These details are still being investigated, and we will keep you updated as more becomes available.
Now let's move on to some local news. Police are searching for a man described to be in his early 20s in dark clothing that committed a robbery Sunday morning. Officers said the man had a knife and a gun when he robbed the Quick Shop at First and Cornhusker. Police ask you to contact them if you have any details.
Officers arrested a suspect on Monday afternoon after a Beatrice robbery at Great Western Bank. 54-year-old Terry Lee Bales is in custody and is to have left with less than $100. The Beatrice man was not armed and has yet to be charged. Police responded to an incident involving a suspected handgun. Star City's Emmanuel Sanchez Mora is live from the Lancaster County Court with more.
A neighbor near Peter Pan Park called the police after spotting what looked like to be 4 juveniles handing each other a handgun Monday evening.
Were dispatched to Peter Pan Park regarding several juveniles handing around a pistol. As officers arrived and contacted the teenagers, they were uncooperative with officers.
Witnesses told police guns were being passed around. Authorities say one was a BB gun, which looks just like a firearm. 1 juvenile was referred for possession of a weapon in a city park and the other for failure to comply. The other 2 were taken to their parents. Express Pound's manager Justin Allerkey says it's dangerous to own one because they are realistic.
And when you take this orange tip off, it's really hard to tell that this is a fake gun from more than 20 feet away with a magazine in it, no orange tip up front. You can't tell if this is all plastic or all steel. You don't know if it fires real bullets or fake bullets.
UNLPD wants to remind students to watch closely what they bring into campus.
Partly due to the damage that BB guns can cause both in property and the harm that they can cause to people. That is why all weapons, including BB guns, are prohibited on UNL campus.
Authorities say to leave the orange tip on any BB guns to prevent the confusion with a real firearm. Live from the news, live from the court, I'm Emmanuel Sanchez Mora.
Thanks for that, Manny. Few details have emerged in the sexual assault case for a Lincoln police officer, but here's what we know so far. The officer made contact with an unidentified woman on the job. She then went to Bryan West Campus Hospital October 17th, where she reported an assault to staff. The State Patrol was contacted and an investigation launched the night of the 17th. The officer was placed on administrative leave. Soon after, the Lincoln police officer retired with more than 20 years of service.
And 5 people were transported to the hospital after a crash near Highway 77 and Firth Road yesterday. 18-year-old Logan Thomas Evans of Beatrice was cited for reckless driving and driving under the influence. All taken to the hospital have non-life-threatening injuries.
We shouldn't be seeing any accidents on 48th Street for the next week or so. A water main break prompted immediate road closure from A to Randolph Streets on 48th. The streets are expected to reopen November 6th.
The city of Lincoln is expanding one area at a time. City Council agreed to 3 annexation proposals. The City County Planning Commission has recommended 5 others for approval.
There's a projected $195 million shortfall for the Senate's upcoming 2-year budget. Governor Pete Ricketts said he is working closely with senators to align the expected costs and the new budget. These estimations come from the upcoming state tax predictions. Get your resumes out. The Department of Agriculture and the Department of Economic Development in Nebraska have a few open positions. Governor Ricketts said there has been some changes in leadership, and he's looking for applicants to direct each department. Stepping down from the roles are Greg Eibach and Courtney Detlinger.
And 2 new pop-up shops are opening at the Gateway Mall by the winners of the Battle of the Pop-Up Challenge. The 2 women are claiming their prize, 6 months of free retail space at the mall. Haley Stamper is opening a clothing shop called H. Flynn, and Sarah Mullings a Faya candle shop. Mullings opened a day earlier than Stamper, and here's what she had to say.
We're completely honored to be chosen for this opportunity and just excited to see where we're going to go.
Coming after the break, a change of pace on Capitol Hill.
As some families made their way through the grounds and got to shake the president's hand. You're watching Star City News live at 5.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
In 2012, the national percentage of adults reporting that they drank too much alcohol before driving was 1.9%. In that same year, Nebraska adults reported 3.4%, nearly twice as much as the national average. People know they shouldn't drive, yet they still do. People go out and plan on coming back home. But as we all know, everything doesn't always go as planned. Inform those around you about the risks of drunk driving.
Welcome to the Lincoln Children's Museum, where the possibilities are endless. The museum offers kids a chance to develop their creativity and turn it into something special. So come on down and be active, be creative, be goofy, and much more. Discover the Lincoln Children's Museum. Quick, before they grow up. Watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Back to Star City News, I'm Lee Marion.
And I'm Karina Hernandez. Let's go to some national coverage. The White House is attempting to distance itself from former top campaign aides. President Trump took to Twitter calling George Papadopoulos a low-level volunteer and a liar, although during his campaign, Trump once called him an excellent guy. This came after the campaign advisor pled guilty to making a false statement to the FBI. Following yesterday's indictments, lawmakers are reacting. Here's what Republican Senator Richard Burr had to say when asked if there was collusion.
We held a press conference 2 weeks ago, and we said at that time we have not come to a conclusion on that. It continues to be something that we look at. It's under the mission of the investigation.
Neither the Senate or House Intelligence Committees have interviewed Papadopoulos in their investigations into Russia election meddling.
Testimonies are expected to resume today for Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's case. Bergdahl pleaded guilty last week to misbehavior before the enemy and desertion, where he could face up to life in prison. Bergdahl, who deserted his outpost in 2009, was taken captive by the Taliban and eventually released in a prison swap in 2014. During a court hearing last week, retired Navy SEAL Chief Petty Officer James Hatch and Army Captain John Billing testified against Bergdahl.
Up to 200 people are feared dead after an underground tunnel collapsed at a North Korean nuclear test site. A Japanese station reported the collapse happened during construction on October 10th. North Korea's sixth nuclear test in September is believed to have caused the tunnel to crumble.
Nearly 6,000 children joined the president and staff at the White House for a Halloween Eve special. The kids got to enjoy some trick-or-treating around the grounds as spooky music played, and carved pumpkins of all shapes and sizes decorated the entrances. Among the costumes was this dime, a true display of creativity from dinosaurs to minions.
Kids might have to cover up their costumes as temperatures drop.
Let's check in on the weather with Dalton Van Straten.
Currently in Lincoln, we're sitting right around 32 degrees, and it's snowing outside. A little bit chilly for trick-or-treating this evening, but it feels like 32 degrees with a slight breeze out of the southwest. As we look at today's almanac, we can see that we're a bit chilly, sitting at a low of 30 degrees. Our high is also a little bit below normal at 41 degrees, but nowhere near our record low of 11 degrees set in 1993. Our sunsets are getting shorter and shorter as we get deeper and deeper into fall. Tonight, we'll see those snow showers continuing with a low around 30 degrees and that slight southwest breeze continuing throughout the evening. Tomorrow, a high of around 56 degrees under partly sunny skies with the wind out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we look at the 7-day outlook, you can see those 50s are going to continue throughout the week. 56 on Wednesday, 50s throughout the rest of the week, with a slight chance of rain on Friday as a frontal boundary comes through, but warming back up for the Husker game on Saturday. Hopefully temperatures will be a bit warmer for that game. Don't forget to turn back the clocks on Saturday night after the Husker game as we go into standard time. As we look at the beginning of the work week next week, you can see that we'll have a high of 68 degrees on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, though, we'll drop back into the lower 50s. Back to you at the desk.
It is Halloween after all, so coming up after the break, we'll see some local spooky spots
where you may or may not want to stop for candy. You're watching Star City News live at 5.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln. Welcome to the Lincoln Children's Museum, where the possibilities are endless. The museum offers kids a chance to develop their creativity and turn it into something special. So come on down and be active, be creative, be goofy, and much more. Discover the Lincoln Children's Museum, quick, before they grow up.
Tired of waiting in line for weight sets or an open treadmill at the campus rec? Do the crowds make working out less appealing? Then head on over to the East Campus Rec and Wellness Center. The East Campus Rec has everything you need, from weightlifting, running and fitness machines, to basketball courts and an indoor track, all without the crowds. So come on over to the East Campus Rec and Wellness Center, located at 1717 North 35th Street, just a block west of the East Campus Union.
Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, you can start here and go anywhere. Our programs are designed for doers, life seekers. You'll get hands-on experience from day one in front of or behind a camera with a major in broadcasting. Or maybe you'd like a career in radio, calling sporting events for KRNU, or design a major advertising campaign. To begin your future, go to journalism.unl.edu.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News, live at 5. I'm Lee Marion.
And I'm Karina Hernandez. Time to get into the Halloween spirit. You might be walking by some of Lincoln's most haunted places on your trick-or-treating route tonight. The hallways of this house are said to be haunted by the original owner, and that house is the Ferguson house, and that's just across the Capitol. And a man is heard to be weeping in the southeast corner. And in the theater on campus, a girl cleans up props in the attic.
Halloween's tonight, but before you go out, here's a look back into the history of the spookiest holiday out there.
We go live now to the newsroom with Keon Asgapur with more.
They think about trick-or-treating and carving pumpkins, among other family-friendly activities. But I bet you don't know about the ancient origins behind Halloween. It all started some 2,000 years ago at the ancient Celtic festival Samhain, celebrated on November 1st. On the night before Samhain, people thought that the dead returned as ghosts. So, the townspeople would leave food and wine on their doorsteps to keep roaming spirits away. They also wore masks when they went out, so they would be mistaken for fellow ghosts. The Christian church turned Samhain to All Saints' Day, or All Hallows, in the 8th century. The night before it became known as All Hallows' Eve, and then later to Halloween. In 19th century America, Irish and Scottish immigrants revived these old traditions, and the result was trick-or-treating. I went around and asked students about their favorite Halloween costumes growing up.
I remember as a kid that I would use the same Halloween costume every year, and that was always really funny to my parents, so I laughed too.
I was a dishwasher one year, and people asked me why I was a dishwasher. I said, well, you don't want to have dirty plates, can't eat food on dirty plates, so I was a dishwasher.
One year I was a taco, and I went all around all town. Every single house I went to got compliments, and I got free cotton candy from one of the houses, so that was awesome.
Today, Halloween is big business, with American consumers spending nearly $6 billion on candy and costumes annually. So, whether you're a fan of tricks, treats, or trivia, there's a bit of Halloween history for you. But Lee, Karina, I gotta ask, what's your favorite Halloween costume growing up?
Well, I know for myself it was SpongeBob. I always made it out, got all the candy, ate a little bit too much, I must admit. Well, kids going out tonight, you're going to have plenty of candy to get. Parents, you're able to stop by some of these few places if you want to get some discounted food. Some include IHOP, Krispy Kreme, CiCi's Pizza, and even BurgerFi. Make sure you have your costume, though.
Babies in the neonatal intensive care unit got into the Halloween spirit. The nonprofit organization Connected Forever launched Nick Cuties with the goal of providing premature babies with Halloween costumes. The program provided 200 handmade costumes throughout the state.
So I'm guessing you spent 20 to 30 minutes carving your pumpkin this year. I can guess it only took a little longer for this family. A family out in La Vista threw some seeds in the ground in May, let the rain and sun do the rest, and ended up with this 650-pound blob. The family got the seeds from Darren Christensen, who grew a 1,400-pound one himself in 2014. Now I gotta say, that's doing Halloween right. Coming up after the break, a World Series game that broke records and why you may not want to keep Ezekiel Elliott on your fantasy team.
You're watching Star City News live at 5.
He lifts it into left, down the line, at the wall. Come on!
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln. Welcome to the University of Nebraska State Museum. Explore the history of life. Immerse yourself in the full-dome, state-of-the-art planetarium experience. See spectacular fossil discoveries and walk alongside ancient sea giants in our Mesozoic era. Take a journey through time and explore the world before we knew it. The University of Nebraska State Museum. You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Jack Housengay with the latest in sports. Week 8 in the NFL came to a close last night as the Kansas City Chiefs extended their division lead by beating the Denver Broncos 29-19. In other notable matchups from the weekend, Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson outdueled Texans rookie Deshaun Watson as Seattle defeated Houston 41-38. The Dallas Cowboys looked to keep pace with the red-hot Philadelphia Eagles with their win over the Washington Redskins, while Juju Smith-Schuster and the Pittsburgh Steelers took home a victory after defeating the Lions in Detroit. But it wasn't just play on the field that caught football fans' attention. With the NFL trade deadline passing today, several teams made moves. Last night, the San Francisco 49ers traded for Patriots quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. Garoppolo has started just 2 games in his NFL career, throwing for 7 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Garoppolo wasn't the only one on the move, however. The first-place Philadelphia Eagles have acquired running back Jay Ajayi from the Miami Dolphins in exchange for a 4th-round pick in next year's draft. Ajayi is coming off a dominant rookie campaign that saw him rush for more than 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. He was elected to the 2016 Pro Bowl as well. From one NFC East running back to another, Cowboys star Ezekiel Elliott will be suspended for the next 6 games. Dallas' second year back was denied his request for a preliminary injunction Monday, which would have blocked the suspension. Elliott, who leads the team in rushing with 690 yards and 6 touchdowns, will not be eligible to play until December 17th. And finally, some sad news from the NFL weekend. Bears tight end Zach Miller suffered a devastating knee injury in the 3rd quarter of Chicago's game in New Orleans. Here's the play, and if you're squeamish, please look away. As Miller was coming down with what was to be called an incomplete pass, he lands awkwardly on his left leg. The Bears announced Monday that Miller had emergency vascular surgery to save not only his football career, but his leg as well. Tiger Woods is officially back. The 14-time major champion announced Monday that he will make his long-awaited return to competitive golf at the upcoming Hero World Challenge on November 30th. Woods hasn't competed since withdrawing from the Dubai Desert Classic in February due to a lingering back injury. His 4th back surgery sidelined him for the remainder of last season. And although we're almost in November, there's still baseball being played. Yes, Game 6 of the World Series between the Dodgers and the Houston Astros will be played tonight. After a thrilling walk-off victory in Game 5, the Astros are now just 1 win away from being crowned World Series champions. All-star Justin Verlander will get the ball tonight for Houston, while the Dodgers will hand the reins to Rich Hill with first pitch set for 7:20. That's all for sports. Again, I'm Jack Housengay. Coming up after the break, find out which television star dressed up as Dolly Parton for Halloween. That and much more next on Star City News.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dolly Parton!
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln. Welcome to the Lincoln Children's Museum, where the possibilities are endless. The museum offers kids a chance to develop their creativity and turn it into something special. So come on down and be active, be creative, be goofy, and much more. Discover the Lincoln Children's Museum. Quick, before they grow up.
At the University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, you can start here and go anywhere. Our programs are designed for doers, life seekers. You'll get hands-on experience from day one in front of or behind a camera with a major in broadcasting. Or maybe you'd like a career in radio, calling sporting events for KRNU, or design a major advertising campaign. To begin your future, go to journalism.unl.edu.
You're watching Star City News, live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Emma Olson, and I have your update on what's hot in entertainment. Glamour magazine announced its picks for 2017 Women of the Year. When describing these women, editors said they aren't waiting for the world to change, they're getting the job done themselves. Some of the notable names for the list included actress Nicole Kidman, model Gigi Hadid, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, late-night host Samantha Bee, and director Patty Jenkins. Another late-night TV host is making news this week. Jimmy Kimmel had to postpone surgery for his son Billy because of a family cold. Kimmel's publicist said the delay was a precaution to keep Billy safe. The procedure is a follow-up to the open-heart surgery Billy had as a newborn. Kimmel used his family's experience to ask people to take a stand against the health care repeal.
If your baby is going to die, and it doesn't have to, it shouldn't matter how much money you make. I think that's something that, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or something else, we all agree on that.
Just one day after Kevin Spacey apologized for sexual advance allegations, Netflix announced its last season of House of Cards. The studio behind the show said in a statement they are, quote, deeply troubled by the news concerning Spacey. However, Netflix says the decision to end the show was made months ago. Just hours ago, Netflix announces the filming of the 6th season has been postponed. But binge watchers beware, a spin-off show focused on right-hand man Doug Stamper is said to be in the works. Spacey is not expected to play a role if a new show appears. Actor Corey Feldman is attempting to raise $10 million to fund a film on alleged pedophiles in Hollywood. Feldman says there is a lot of darkness in Hollywood right now, but it is just the tip of the iceberg. Today, show member Matt Lauer challenged that Feldman has made these claims before, but failed to deliver the names of individuals. Feldman currently has raised over $160,000 for the film. Speaking of Matt Lauer, he channeled his inner platinum blonde to pull off a Dolly Parton costume for the Today Show this morning. Lauer didn't complete the look on his own. He had some help from Parton herself. The blonde wig, pumps, makeup, and silver glitter dress helped Lauer with his transformation. He joined the crew for their country legends-themed costumes, including Shania Twain, Miley Cyrus, Willie Nelson, and Billy Ray Cyrus. That's the latest in what's hot in entertainment. I'm Emma Olson. Back to you, Lee and Karina.
Thanks, Emma. You know, it was unfortunate to hear that the House of Cards is canceling, but on the other hand, seeing that transformation was pretty great.
You're right, Lee. Now our social media expert Sarah Firestone has more about another hit Netflix original and more Hollywood costumes.
That's right, Stranger Things is back and it's generating a lot of buzz on Twitter. I'm Sarah Firestone here to give you all that's trending on social media. According to Entertainment Weekly, the release of Stranger Things Season 2 has generated 3.7 million tweets, and that number continues to rise. Tweets varied from binge watchers' reactions and love for Character 11 to notes about Will, Steve, and even their dislike for some new characters. Season 2 is on Netflix, so if you're looking for a scare and a little bit of humor for tonight, you might want to go check it out. Speaking of scary, today not everyone decides to dress up as a spooky vampire or funny cartoon character. Instead, the hashtag #IDon'tDressUpBecause is trending today as tweeters are sharing why they choose to opt out of the Halloween spirit. Explanations like "I'm already fabulous" or "I'm already the scariest thing you can be" are just a few explanations that people are giving. And one of my favorites I saw is "Netflix doesn't care what I'm wearing." Going from dressing scary to something cute and adorable to the soon-to-be mother of 3, Jessica Alba, took to Instagram to share a video of her and her 2 daughters finding out what the gender is of baby number 3. Alba told Jimmy Fallon that her and her family are super stoked about the new baby boy. With all these new costumes for Halloween, I can't imagine what you guys dressed up as. Lee and Karina, let's take it back to you.
Well, I know for myself, I'm not going to be dressing up. I know it's hard to hear. I'll be handing candy out to the kids.
And I'll probably dress up as Norma Bates. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us.
I'm Lee Marion. We'll see you on Thursday.